So here's how I approach bowings for swing rhythms. First of all, as I already said previously, we want to either hook or slur the bow. So if we look at this, there's a lot of hooks and there's a lot of slurs. I change the bow sometimes, but there's a lot of hooks. So this might feel really unfamiliar to you, and you might be tempted to change the bow all the time, but you can start practicing using more hooks. Now, with regards to, a basic swing bowing, like let's just take a simple scale pattern. You definitely don't want to do this. You definitely don't want to do that. And part of the reason is because the impetus for these phrases are not coming from one, they're coming from one and. And one, and two, and three, and four. That's, but you also don't necessarily want to do this, and some people will recommend this to you. That's a better choice than the first one, but it doesn't work for me. And here's why. Because I think it's too homogeneous. I think that part of swing melodies having an element of swing is that there's an unpredictability to it. You want to have unpredictability in terms of when the notes are accented, when the notes are short or long. So I might do a line like that, like this. And this gets back to one of my original points, which is that you should practice improvising your bow. So if I just take this line with the swing feel, I'm going to practice it many ways, and every time I'm going to try to change the bow and improvise the bow, so that whenever I'm playing in a swing field, my bow can move any way that I want it to move. And I'm focused more on the sound of the melody, the inflection of the melody, but I can make that sound or that inflection using the bow in a variety of different ways. So these are just a review. We want to try to get a point at the beginning of the bow. We want to leave the bow on the string, not lifting it. And if we ever do lift it, you always want to make sure to set so you can get your point. You don't want to throw the bow at the string. We want to use less bow. Less bow. We also want to use less bow changes, especially the faster it goes. Excuse me. And when you work on all these things starting out, obviously, you might have to do it at slower tempos. You could also even help yourself by writing out some prepared bowings, and practicing those prepared bowings, just so you get in the habit of using some of these hook bows and these slur bows. When I'm getting inflection, even when I slur the bow or hook the bow, it's because I'm pinching here. A lot of hooking and slurring, but you can still hear that there's a marking of the rhythm. And of course, sometimes I do have to change the bow to get that. But also, you'll notice about my playing, hopefully, that even though I'm not playing super loud, I'm still getting a core sound, It's not a flautando. Which I do hear sometimes people using that flautando sound in certain quote-unquote gypsy jazz settings, and I'm not I'm not necessarily trying to have an opinion about that, but this is just my approach. This is my approach. I think to get that core sound, you can play with much less bow, but you can still have this feeling of a strong sound. And all the while, really playing more of having more of a feeling of mezzo piano in your body. And especially if you want to play fast and if you want to play more specific rhythmically and groove better, then if you have that mezzo piano feeling in your body as opposed to a fortissimo feeling in your body, it's going to be much easier to do that.